All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful stage where we're going to learn about some of the new future-facing technologies as it pertains to our lives today, tomorrow, and in the future in auto tech. We're here to talk about the vision of the next iteration and revolution in interior car design. And the funny thing is, it's not just cars that we're going to be talking about. But we don't want to hear me talk. Let's hop in. Peng, VP at Royale, engineering background. Who are you? Who is Royale?
Yeah, I'm Peng Wei. I'm the vice president and also one of the co-founders of Royale Corporation. Yeah, it's very nice to come here to talk, to introduce our company and our hardware.
So Royale's a company, it's been around for several years now, $5 billion valuation, several rounds, 2,000 plus patents. What do we need to know? I mean, you've got some wonderful gadgets, which we'll get into in a few minutes, but what is the essence of Royale?
So Royale started in 2012 and currently operated globally. We just closed our Series E investment round. Our company's valuation is $5 billion US. Currently, we just invested $1.7 billion US for the first fully flexible display mass production line in Shenzhen, China. And this is some demos of our flexible display from our mass production line. And it's great to use our flexible display and sensor technology to totally make the revolutionary products for the human-machine interface.
All right, we'll talk about the displays in just a few minutes. Jacob, what's your story? Who are you? What's Orchestra?
Yeah, so my name is Jacob Timm, and I am founder and CEO of Orchestra. And Orchestra is a human-machine interaction company focused on automotive. And our goal is to really just improve that human-machine experience as you're driving a vehicle. And yeah.
Now, you've got the human design experience. There's a lot of companies out there. We don't really care about your companies. We care about what you're doing. Tell us about your vision. What's your product?
Yeah, so the vision really is to reduce all that digital noise that you see taking place right now. There's a trend in the dashboard to really just, cram technology in there, and it's really like a light show below the field of view. And so our vision is to simplify that.
Are you talking windshield? Are you talking the dash in front of you, on your side? Where's your vision going?
Yeah, so we really think that data needs to be capable of being displayed everywhere in the car. And in order to do that, obviously there's a lot of innovations, some of which Peng is going to talk about, that need to take place. And so you should be able to see information in the windshield, on the dashboard, wherever it makes most sense for safety and other things that help the driver.
In the windshield. Let's show a clip.
Everything moves faster now. There are so many factors to consider between humans and machines, and they all must be brought together to feel like a symphony.
So we're looking at a 1970s Porsche right now, analog dash. Explain what we're about to see.
Yeah, so the reason we use a 1970 911 Porsche is because it's a clean slate, a blank slate of pure analog. And so when we integrate digital into that, it really shows us the contrast of what we're looking for. The two ends of the spectrum are the simplicity of a 1970, the advancements of the future.
All right, and that's interesting. So if we're talking about the future-facing technology of windshields, of in-dash displays, why are we doing this on a 1970s car, and where are you trying to take this?
Right, so we get asked a lot about, are you retrofitting this into old cars, or is this just for new production cars? And it's for both. There's really complex human factors, really complex mobility factors in all cars, and we're trying to solve that in general.
Okay, so explain this to me. You're from Orchestra, you're from Royale. Why are both of you here for one product launch? Explain this a bit.
Yeah, so for our flexible display, actually, we can make them pretty thin and ultra lightweight. So I think this is a very good revolution for the human-machine interface, especially for the automobile industry. Because using the plastic materials can get display pretty thin and also very safety during the collision. And together, integrated with the software systems, we can make all ecosystems of the car to totally make the revolutionary products of the human-machine interface, especially for the autonomous car in the future.
So you guys are building the hardware. You've partnered with the Orchestra. You're coming out with this new technology called Orchestra Engine. What are we going to see in the next few seconds?
Yeah, so really, we're interested in safety. It's a primary goal. And when we look at safety and distracted driving, it's a trade-off of economics. And, if you're going to look at your phone or you're going to drive, you've got to make that decision. And so we're really focused on making the driving experience better.
So explain this to us. You're driving down the road, built into your dash, and let's keep the video rolling, and I'll tell you when to cue it back up. You have a heads-up display, essentially. Explain this to us.
Yeah, so you're driving down the road, and you have, in your mind, you have text messages, emails, things that you're thinking are popping up on your phone. And you want to grab that phone.
Okay.
We have to make it simple and intuitive, more so than today, to not grab the phone, but to look forward at the road, but still feel like you're connected.
Okay, so we've got the prototype. It's now showing on the screen. You're driving down the road, and this is where things get real interesting. Instead of looking down, you can keep eyes up, and your dash does something. Explain this to us.
Yeah, so really what Orchestra Engine is meant to do is think of it like a filter. So there's a lot of noise in mobility factors that are coming through, a lot of data, and it doesn't all need to be shown.
Yeah.
It doesn't all need to be shown at the same time. So let's take an example of speed. Do you need to see your speed as you're approaching the speed limit, but you're not there yet? Not necessarily. And everybody's different, so it should be personalized. And that's our goal, is to really personalize that experience, but show as little as possible on the screen.
So a little as possible. There's the UI, the experience that you're working on. How does that become simplified? Is it just you with the software? Are you partnering with other entities as well? Calendars, appointments, speed, understanding visually what's around you. Does it identify bicyclists on the road? What are some of the things that are going to make my life better?
Yeah, so really, again, to bring up safety, we want to identify pedestrians and bicyclists, and we really want to call that out to the driver. And with the Orchestra Engine, we use the same data that the autonomous cars are using. And we use it, though, in what's called VSLAM. So SLAM data is what they're using to do the autonomous work. VSLAM puts that into a visual perspective.
So we have the high-level software that you're running, but you need a physical hardware component for it. Now, Peng's company just a week ago announced this device, which is pretty neat, and it is the world's first commercially ready foldable phone, which is pretty neat. Now, this is nice to say, okay, I've got a foldable phone, but in the interior of a car, you need to go a step further. What do you have in front of us?
Yeah. Those are two of the demos of what we can do with our flexible display and sensor technology. So this is a display with high resolution, but actually you can see it pretty thin, just a little wind. So this can totally reduce the weight of the display compared with the traditional glass-based display with both the high resolution and the high quality. And also you can see it's a little transparency, so totally can be integrated in cars. For example, windshield or the windows or any car dashboard, all around with the display. And with the curved surface, any new form factors can do. Like this one, this is a smart speaker, and also it's round with all the display with different sizes. And that one, Adam just showed, is the world's first commercial foldable smartphone. We just launched 1 week ago in Beijing, China. And this is one, not the prototype. This is one, the real product featured our flexible display technology. And also, we are selling globally for the developer models and also consumer models in China. So this is the first one. It's one of the good examples of the product featured with the flexible display and sensor technology.
Now, Peng, pass me that speaker real quick. And I want you to toss it to me instead of passing it down.
Yes.
Nope, the circle one. Throw it over here. I'll catch it. Throw it. Throw it. Nope, I want to catch it. Throw it. Come on, you can do it. This is really, really light. Really light. Why is it so light? What did you do?
Because all is not based on the glass. It's based on the plastic. Everyone knows plastic is pretty thin and pretty lightweight. So we have a lot of 2,000 IPs on this, including the process, materials, and also the design. So can make the display super light and super thin.
But why is that important? I mean, if it's plastic, are there any other implications for it? You're clearly focused on safety. You keep your eyes above the road. You get more information. It's a better driving experience.
Bicyclists there.
So this is amazing. You're driving down the road. It identifies things for you, so it's safer there. But what's important about plastic displays as opposed to glass?
So it's one of the safety. Because during the collision, so glass always is fragile and there are lots of issues during the collision. With plastic, actually, there's no broken screens anymore. So to give the much better experience and also the safety of the automobile.
But it's not just broken screens. I mean, how often do you get a cracked display inside of a car? If you're in an accident, there's actually less damage and things that are flying at you. So it's a safer, more fuel-efficient experience as well.
Yes.
Now, we're in the world right now where we have semi-autonomous cars. People say that we'll start actually seeing this hit the roads in 2021. Let's think long-term, though. What are the real implications of technology like this, flexible display on everything, heads-up, voice, speech, touch, multi-point gestures? Where do you see this going? Is it really just cars, or are we talking about the future of transportation?
Yeah, so I'll take that. So I think we're really talking about the future of mobility in general, because really human-machine interaction doesn't just stop at automotive, right? And when we interact with machines, we need to feel like we're connected to them. We need to feel like they understand us and that we're safe. And so in order to do that, I think the key is it has to be simple and intuitive.
Simple, intuitive, but is that available now, or is that only in the future? You show this on an old car that's actually your car.
I think it's now because, like we're showing right here, a 1970 is capable of this. A 1970 automobile is capable of doing this.
What's the timeline then? Can I go out and buy this for a Porsche that I own and install it, or this is not a retrofit available? It's only going to be in new vehicles coming forward?
No, our plan is absolutely to have this on the market and able to be retrofitted very soon.
All right. So what are some of the challenges that you two are experiencing right now? Peng, let's start with you. From the hardware perspective, if you're talking about wrapping every single surface in a car, from windows to dash to seats, does it change the form factor? Do you no longer feel comfortable in your vehicle? What are you looking at? What's coming down the pipe?
So coming down, so like this foldable smartphone, it's totally changed the form factor of the human-machine interface. The car, the automobile is the same, because when the more and more automobile coming, so this human-machine interface will give the passenger, give the driver more freedom to enjoy all the contents, to share all the contents of human-machine interface. So with flexible displays can give the designer, the automobiles makers, all the freedom, like the software integrated to for the better all around the display and all around the information everywhere when you drive the car.
And what are the challenges for you?
The biggest challenges for us is that we're a piece of the chain, and we really need technologies like Royale and others, voice assistants and others to all come together, collaborate together in order for this to work. But Orchestra Engine is meant to unify all that and make it a cohesive experience.
Can you describe your ecosystem a little bit? You've got the Orchestra Engine software, but you clearly need hardware providers that are not just display, but if you're identifying mountains in the distance for information, where are you pulling this in from? You say vSLAM, but there's got to be a lot more going on.
There's a lot going on. So you need super powerful computing, really, again, very similar to what's being used to push autonomous driving.
Okay.
And so it's actually calculating 100 times a second what's around you, using a lot of different sensors, a lot of different tools to just grab that data, crunch it, and say what's going on.
So the vision there, you start off in cars. Will I be able to use Orchestra Engine on a plane as I'm flying, looking out the window going, what's that below me? Is this going to go into motorcycle helmets? Does this have military applications?
Yeah.
What's your real vision on this?
We've actually already started prototyping on visors that go in helmets. So that it's applicable to both motorcycles and obviously things like Formula E and other similar applications. So with technologies like Royale, it's really limitless where we can go with this.
All right. What do you think? Where's the most impressive application outside of vehicles for your type of technology? Where else are consumers going to start seeing this pop up?
So one is the daily uses for the smartphone. Everyone uses the smartphone. So since 2007, when Apple taped out the first smartphone, for the past 11 years, all the smartphone is flat, rigid. But with flexible display, totally changed the form factors. So it's not boring anymore using the foldable or even the rollable. And maybe you can think the paper is the phone. So it totally changed because people is surrounded with the display. So we have display here, display there. So if the form factor totally changed with the display, new display technology, the human daily life will be changed and upgraded.
Well, what do you think about adoption then? If we're talking about foldable phones, you go out in the wild and you talk to people and they go, I don't need this yet. I just don't need it. I don't want this in my normal car. Who are the target customers for this? Is it future-facing people only, or do you really think that the general populace can take advantage of this?
I feel in the automotive space, the e-vehicle population is clearly more advanced in terms of how they think about cars. From an electronic battery-powered vehicle and an autonomous, because typically electric-powered cars also have advanced autonomy as well. And so I would say that's probably our target entry point.
All right, so we're talking about the Mercedes new ECQ, we're talking about BMW, we're talking about smart cars, maybe Tesla. Those are your target markets, and you think it'll trickle down backwards. All right. We're almost out of time, but I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask and answer one question to yourself. What do you wish I asked you, Peng, that I didn't, and what's the response? It's a hard question.
So maybe Jacob?
Yeah, I'll
pass.
take it first. I guess I'm really proud of our team, and so I think the one thing I would like to highlight is we have a really smart, talented team, world-class team that's behind this. They have come from backgrounds at Lockheed Martin, working on heads-up displays there, and really just I want to give thanks to the team.
All right.
For Royale, we really thanks these opportunities and to show what we are capable and what's our technology and products. And we will work with potential automobile makers to totally change the display form factors, to change the what's interior design with this human-machine interface, like the Orchestra or other automobile makers, to work together for our daily driving life change.
Now, it's nice to talk about things like this. It's nice to see it on the screen. But the reality is, myself, I actually want to touch and feel this experience. I want to witness it firsthand. And who else in the crowd would like to see this and be in a car, right? Everybody's raising their hand right now. Where can we actually see this in action?
All right, so right now, we're committing that you will be able to drive the Orchestra Engine at the Collision Conference in Toronto in May of next year.
Okay, so you heard it here first. We have a new product reveal, which is the heads-up display powered by Orchestra Engine in partnership with Royale Corporation. And at Collision 2019 in May, we can try this firsthand?
That's right.
All right. Jacob, Peng, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.